Namaskar. I'm going to talk about the Buddhist philosophy, the Eightfold Path which the Buddha gave, which is also known as the Middle Path, because at that time the society had this Varna system, fold system: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. So the rites and rituals of Brahmins were very, very rigid and complicated. So everybody wanted a middle path. So Buddha gave a middle path to the people. So what was this Buddhist philosophy? So his 8 principles, which are also known as the Noble Eightfold Path, they were: number 1, right views; number 2, right aspirations; right speech; right conduct; right means of livelihood; right effort; right mindedness; and right rapture. The origins of the Buddha's philosophy lie is in Eightfold Path. According to Dr. D.D. Kaushambi, he says the core of Buddhism is the Noble Eightfold Path. So, in this Eightfold Path, Buddha gave how we can live our life in a balanced way. So, let's see in short what are those right views. So, what are the right views? According to Buddha, right views, what Buddha felt, that the world was filled with sorrow generated by uncontrolled desire, greed, and self seeking on the part of mankind. The quenching of desire is the path to peace for all, Buddha said. And Buddha's concept of right views has a moral perspective. He appeals to his disciples to purify their moral strength by holding correct views about life. Then the next aspect of this Noble Eightfold Path is right aspirations. According to Buddha, it is not enough to hold right views, but one should also aim at transforming these right views into action. In order to do one should be clear what one would like to achieve, and his principle of right aspirations is intended to achieve this goal. After that, the right speech. Though speech is an expression of thoughts or views, Buddha thought that a lot of training had to go into organizing one's own speech. It is through right speech that one influences the other, and therefore he wished his disciples to develop it and in turn teach it to the people at large. Then the right conduct. Human conduct is a part of one's training. The aspirants could acquire it either through personal discipline or through perception by the sanghas. Then the right means of livelihood. Through this principle, Buddha wanted to implement his principle of renunciation and also the principle of limited non-violence. Contemporary society was ridden with robbery, sanctioned by the default of moral condemnation. Buddha wanted to mold his Sangha and also society by propagating the way this principle was to aim in providing dignity to labor, because during Buddha's time exploitation was gaining around and labor was losing its dignity. Then the next aspect of Buddha's Eightfold Path, right effort. The principle aims at promoting the determination to persistent effort in order to achieve goals. Next, right mindedness or right thought. Buddha was the first person to maintain that right thinking develops in the right material conditions. Therefore, it is necessary to work for the development of such conditions in order to achieve the right thinking. And the last in this eightfold path is right rapture. The concept of right rapture in Buddhist language is nothing but self-control. Buddha believed in controlling oneself in the face so many worldly attractions. He believed that right rapture should include abstaining from sex, and throughout his life he persisted in self-consciousness and self-control. The concept of mendicancy and of the Sangha based on no family and no property are the extension of the right rapture principle. D.D. Goshambi says that he says about this eighth step that it is to Buddhism what gymnastics was to the Greek body. So in the next video we will discuss about other aspects of Buddha's life and the origin of Sangha. Thank you.